Alright, people of the world, now, the news is concerning the show I want to produce called The Game Pitch. There was a thread on BGG, and it was a great thread because people were asking questions that I will answer. So, when you present your game, where does that game go to? It goes nowhere. It's your game. It's your idea. You don't sign a contract. There are no contracts to be signed. It's just an opportunity for an unpublished gamer to come up and get expert advice from the likes of Volko Runke, Mark Herman, Harold Buchanan, Uwe Eichert, David Heath. So you're going to have a designer, an expert designer, with a professional publisher, an expert publisher. And that's the advice. What's the reward? That's the reward. But since we're sponsored by GameCrafter, they offered to print a prototype of your game. Now, if the panel says, hey, it's a great idea, let's go ahead, then GameCrafters should be able to print a prototype of your game. That's it. There's no hidden this and hidden that. I'm not going to take your game and put it away for 2 years. First of all, I don't have the capability of doing that. So the game belongs to you. The idea belongs to you. There's nothing you have to sign. Just express yourself. Pitch it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I used to be a freelance musician, so I had to pitch my shtick all the time in auditions. It's a pitch, right? So basically, the better you express your idea, the clearer it is for the panelists, the easier it is for them to give you great advice. And that's it. If there are any more questions, contact me at noenemieshere@videotron.ca. I will answer them. And it's great that people have worries or concerns because it ups my game. It keeps it legit and clean. Alrighty. Yeah. Flying Pig Games and Shane Logan's design, Old School Tactical Volume 2 is back in stock. This is the West Front, 1944 to 1945. And what you get with this game, it's a huge game, and what you get is 3 sheets of units, weapons, vehicles, and condition counters, a large, and as Mark says here, we're talking huge, 30 by 41 inch mounted game mat. Hexes are 1 inch across. You get 18 luck cards, basically fog of war type stuff, 36 unit data cards, scenarios, play rate card, color rulebook, dice, and a massive, massive box. And talking about huge, GMT and Bruno Sinigalio's A Time for Trumpets, the Battle of the Bulge. Man, huge. We're talking about 5 maps and 12 sheets of counters. That's 1,600 counters. So, what you get with this game, as I said, 5 full-size maps, 12 counter sheets, a rulebook, a scenario booklet, and at least 6 player rate cards. And 2 dice, sorry. Time scale 4 turns per day. Map scale 1 mile per hex. Ground unit scale or battalions. Air unit scale 25 aircraft per counter. And this is a 2 to 5 player game. Complexity is high. Solitaire suitability is medium. Compass Games and a Kickstarter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the Kickstarter segment and just put it into new pre-orders because basically it's a pre-order, right? So, Compass Games and Devil Boats, PT Boats in the Solomons. So this is like a B-17 Queen of the Sky solitaire game, charts, dice. Personally, I like this type of game. And so, complexity is medium, time scale 1 day is 1 mission, 20 missions is 1 month, the map is abstracted, the unit scale are individual ships, plane, and guns, and average time to play is 15 to 60 minutes.
Hello, this is Riccardo Masini, and this week's greatest day of history in games is November 14, 1524, the first day of the first of many expeditions in South America led by explorer and conquistador Francisco Pizarro. Pizarro was the illegitimate son of a Spanish army colonel, and as many others of his condition, was raised in poverty and decided to travel to America to find fortune and escape punishment for the loss of a pig in the farm where he was employed. He participated in some unsuccessful expeditions in Central America, but was instrumental in the arrest of his former commander, Vasco Núñez de Balboa. For this service to the crown, he was nominated mayor of Panama City. In 1522, the news about the great expeditions in Mexico led by Hernán Cortés prompted Pizarro to finance another expedition of his own to explore the lands on the southern territories, full of natural resources and rumors about lost treasures. Pizarro created a company with fellow adventurer Diego de Almagro and the priest Hernando de Luque, but the real sponsor of the operation was Governor Pedro Arias Davila, eager to expand his domains. The first expedition of 1524 was a complete failure. Losses due to insidious terrain, diseases, belligerent tribes, and lack of supplies were horrible. So much that Governor Arias withdrew his support, arresting de Almagro, that had arrived in Panama, to organize the rescue of his comrades. When the rescue ships arrived, Pizarro insisted on carrying on and obtained resources for 3 months more of exploration. At the end, he reached the gates of Tumbes, a city belonging to the Peruvian Empire. Back in Panama, Pizarro tried to convince the governor of the opportunity for another expedition, showing some gold coins, jewels, and also some citizens of Tumbes that had agreed to follow him. The governor refused. So Pizarro made a direct appeal to the crown and got this expedition in exchange for a fifth of all the profits. And so began the adventurous travel of Francisco Pizarro, who made contact with the Inca Empire while this was engulfed in a violent civil war, captured one of the pretendants, Atahualpa, and then his entire fortune as a ransom. Atahualpa was, however, executed, his people massacred, and much of what we now call Peru was conquered. Pizarro was made governor and actual ruler of a true empire. However, Pizarro could not hold this power for long. He had first to face the revolt of a new Inca emperor, Manco II, and then of his former comrade, de Almagro. While Almagro was killed in battle, his supporters faced Pizarro and, storming the palace in the capital city of Lima, managed to kill him. Almagro's son Diego was the new governor of Peru until the arrival of the royal forces would put down his brave but short-lived career. Pizarro has become the quintessential image of the conquistador, the Spanish adventurer who recklessly topples down millennial empires, robs them of their riches, and become rulers themselves. All this thanks to a daring expedition who could go well as the one of Pizarro or catastrophically bad as the one portrayed by the majestic movie Aguirre, The Wrath of God by German director Werner Herzog. There are many games on this subject, but today we will speak about a solitaire, print-and-play and totally free game that you can find on Bulge and GEEK, 1572 The Lost Expedition. Part of the Roll and Write XX72 series, this simple game consists of just a blank hexagon map and some tables around it. Turn by turn, you will have a variable number of actions to explore, exploit, and survive your perilous travel from the first hex to a fixed destination. You will mark your progress on the map and see if you can carry on for another day. The tables will tell the story, leading you to discover ancient empires, but also dangerous enemies, both natural and human. You will have to manage your scarce resources with great care if you want to reach your goal alive. Diseases, sudden events, mutinies, and other surprises await you in the dense jungle. The title is part of a series of very quick but also very rich historical solitaires, with the models set during the Indian Wars or the Vietnam War. Try it. It's free, but really not easy to win. So, that's it for this week. See you on the next Battlefields. Ciao!
It's Keith from Wargame HQ here, and I just am so excited to clear the air about a couple of things. Just 3 things I want to talk about. Number 1, all right, lay off at Dan, okay? The guy doesn't understand your customs and your poultry laws, all right? It's not his fault, okay? Number 2, here's the thing. Dan hit his head as a kid, and that's why he's got 10 helmets now, all right? He's got to have those. You only live once. YOLO. Third thing, when the Duce contacts you and says he needs a video right then, you get on it and you make that video right then. So, Duce wanted to know, hey, Keith, what do you got going on? Take a look. We've got unconditional surrender on the table. Trying to work my way through learning this game. It is great. It lives in that sweet spot between a world at war, Advanced Third Reich, Axis Empires, Totaler Krieg, those kind of high complexity titles for strategic European theater of operations, and something a little easier, right? Something more along the lines of a Hitler's War or probably like Cataclysm, although Cataclysm has some unique things to it that make it a little more difficult to digest. But definitely, it lives in that nice sweet spot where you still get some great detail. However, enough is abstracted that you get to play the game. I think that's one of the things I like most about this title is that you're focused on the problems that World War II leaders were focused on at the time. Although I will say this, it is not as fun to play as Germany countries. Germany gets to kind of drive the boat here, and they get to pick a lot of the most important decisions early on in the game. They can go west, they can go east, they can focus on bringing minor nations into it. They kind of get to drive the thing, and so it's fun for everybody. But I think if you really want to get the most out of it, probably folks who play Germany are maybe going to have some more options at their disposal that they're going to want to try to use. So that's it. That's what's on the table. I think it's a great game. I think there's P500 right now. There's some opportunity to go ahead and get in on the P500 to get the reprint. Boy, oh boy, it's got these beautiful maps, really great projection to give you a sense of the land size that you're dealing with. And it looks a little strange at first glance, but I'll tell you what, it does a great job. Plays well. Combat is really a lot of fun because you're making some important decisions around whether you're going to really go all out or whether you think you can exploit and open up a hole in somebody's line and start pushing armies through. And I think that is, again, another unique thing that's handled in a really easy way. It's all kind of handled with movement points and that sort of thing, so it makes life great. Great game. Definitely check it out. Highly recommend it. That's it. It's Keith from Wargame HQ. Give Dan a break. Come on, the Duce.
And Mo of Mo's Game Table is previewing, or reviewing I should say, by Stealth and C from DVG. This is another winner from David Thompson. Also, Whiskey Charlie episode 17 with Kevin of the Big Board and Gimpy of the Gimpy Gamer were live. We're trying to be live because YouTube had some problems. And we're talking about the Charles S. Robert Awards. Lock and Load Publishing was live with On the Air, Season 2, Episode 12, with the suave and debonair Harold Buchanan as a guest. Mo was on there too, and so was Devin. And obviously the CEO of Lock and Load, David Heath. And the wonderful being that is STUKAJOE has 4 videos out on Brave Little Belgium. This is a playthrough parts 1 to 3. And this is a game designed by Ryan Heilman and Dave Shaw. Even the man who's famously known as Calandale, Enrico Viglino, takes a break from war games and plays 1817. The Intro Parts 1 and 2. And Compass Games with Live, with episode 43 featuring David McDonough, designer of Dawn's Early Light. And Cody of the Discriminating Gaming was checking out GMT's published game, Versailles 1919, a game designed by Mark Herman and Jeff Engelstein. And Tony of Tony's Board Life does a playthrough of MMP's Rock of the Marne. This is a standard combat series game. Kevin of the Big Board takes a look at supply considerations and supply addendum to The Last Stand. He also shrink rips and chats with A Time for Trumpets by Bruno Sinigalio, and Next War Vietnam takes a look at Iron Curtain's initial impressions and winning considerations.
Hey guys, ID Jester here. We had a really good week. Hopefully everyone else out there did. We had a special guest last weekend come and join us on the War Room. And we want a big shout out to David Heath from Oaken Night Publishing for joining us and talking all kinds of great wargaming news and information. Got to ask him a lot of great questions. This Saturday at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will have Big Board Gaming. Kev from Big Board Gaming is going to be joining us for an hour or so as we go through the live stream and get to talk with him about all kinds of wargaming news and information and get his views and thoughts on things. So hopefully you'll be able to join us for that. We also got in another episode of our co-op challenge that we have going on in the War Room with Rough Swordsman Wargamer and Tony's Board Life co-op challenge of the Hunters. We got our second patrol in of U506 and had a great time playing that as well. And then finally, to wrap the week up, we got our P500 shipment in from GMT and got all kinds of good stuff, including the big monster game that was just released by them, A Time for Trumpets, of course, by GMT Games. So hopefully you'll be able to join us today at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the War Room. We'll see everyone there. Till then, take care, guys.
And the master of the bamboo cane technique, Marco Omnigamer, checks out White Eagle Defiant Poland 1939, a game published by HOLLANDSPIELE. Rough Swordsman Wargamer has 2 unboxing videos in which he calls Open the Box, and they're both DVG Warfighter World War II battle packs, one being Battle of Roat Road and the Battle of Narvik, the other being Battle of Castle Era and multi-era skill and gear cards. And Tim Korchnoi of Bare Bones Wargaming checks out Nutrition of Souls Fall 1914 turn. This is a World War I strategic scale game published by Compass Games. Seek Out and Play checks out Undaunted North Africa, a game by David Thompson, Trevor Benjamin, Operation Caravan. Yes, I said Undaunted Normandy. I meant Undaunted North Africa. Come on. Voynet TV number 484 is checking out Triang's War and also checks out Victory, World War II, a game by Columbia Games. Jim Wazarski. Who, you ask? That's right. This guy's been a Grognard of the Year favorite so far. Lots of friends, people. Go out and vote. So Jim Ozarski on his channel checks out the Battle of Beekman's Hollow. Riccardo Mazzini was live with his author wife, Maria Benedetta Arrigo. And Nathan the Wise Guy checks out a Compass Games game, Saipan, the Bloody Rock. USA Patriot 4163 is back after a 7-month hiatus, and he checks out Shenandoah 1975 Battle Line publication. Ben Harsh of Harsh Rules breaking down board games with Ben Harsh. Learn to play with easy rules, beginner and veteran rules of Academy Games, One Small Step. And the man with the liquid name, Kyle Seeley, checks out Worthington Publishing's Chancellorville, 1863. Mauro Faina and Il Giannizzero Nero, video episode 10, where he discusses Crossing the Line, Aachen, 1944. The wargame artist Matt White checks out Beneath the Med, Regia Marina at Sea 1940 to 1943 Solitaire Wargame Review. The Chief with Bonding with Board Games is doing a hand tag with Judd Vance Top 5 Game Box Art Covers, or How to Shout from the Shelf. Kilroy Was Here is unbagging Siege of Orgun, Afghanistan 1983 from Revolution Games. Pièce de Résistance 1918 to 1919 Storm in the West. He has parts 1, 2, 3, 4. Postmortem Allied Offensive. And Combat Board Games is unboxing D-Day Dice the Pocket Edition. I haven't played that one yet. Got it, but I haven't played it. And those CSR winning gentlemen, the Player's Aid, are unboxing Red Winter from GMT Games and also unboxing Field Commander Rommel from DVG. And the wargame philosopher Hexes and Soldiers is playing his homegrown rule set piggybacked onto a command and color system called Scum of the Earth.
Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to the Centurions Review, the punk rock band of wargame review institutions. This is Rescue from the Hive from Ares Magazine number 7. I've done a review of it on my website. Essentially, this game is a science fiction game about an ambassador and his daughter who are captured by the alien Xenons, and you, the Space Marines, have to go aboard their ship and either rescue the hostages or do a punitive raid, and you have to get off the ship before it goes into hyperspace. It's a good game, but the rule book's a little all over the place, but once you get the rules down, they're actually a good rule set. They just weren't written that coherently, but I enjoyed it. And then we've done our thoughts on Scenario 3 of Starship Troopers. The Scenario 3 is Invasion of Skinny 5. It's the mobile infantry versus the skinnies, and the mobile infantry has to drop in, and they get scattered all over the place and stuff, and they have to take some critical installations and take the city and spaceport. It's an interesting scenario, but it overstayed its welcome. It took about a little over 3 hours to play. It would have been better if it had less forces and took about an hour and a half to play, but it still was good. And then as far as first look videos, we have Game Fix Magazine number 5 here, and this has the game Winsby, Battle of the English Civil War. It looks like a very simple game like most of the Game Fix games, but looks like it should be fun. And last we've done first look at Wargame Magazine number 62. The game is Fallen Eagle. It's a game about the Battle of Khe Sanh. I'm really interested in the history of the Vietnam War, so this looks like something I like. The map's not too glamorous or anything, doesn't look that great, but looks like it should be a simple game that hopefully will be easy to play and fun to play. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys soon on our website and on our YouTube channel. Have a good evening.
The premier event, that is the San Diego Historical Games Convention, is online November 13th to 15th with people such as, and events, Mark Herman, Valko Runke. Great War Commanders being checked out. Mike Bertuccelli checks out Tank Duel North Africa. Wolfpack also, the North Atlantic convoy struggles. Uwe Eichert, Bruce Mansfield, David Thompson, Morgan Guyon-Retzi, John Butterfield checks out Space Corps Ventures, and World War II Commander Volume 1, Battle of the Bulge. Plus, a heck of a lot more. Check it out.
A game for gamers, made by gamers, by Flying Pig Games.
The family that is HOLLANDSPIELE, the Mary and Tom Show, episode 115, where they talk about they sold a few billion, and there's a sale coming November 23rd at HOLLANDSPIELE. Tom has a bad idea, looks like his sister, technical difficulties, and he forgot how to shave. The Mary and Tom Show. Another week, another show. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment above all. I did some changes because I think just one person commented that something... Look, I try to accommodate everybody. That's the way I am. I made a few changes, and they're gonna get better in time. Also, please, support this channel. It'll give you a chance to sell your games live. You know what I'm saying? Support me, sell your games. Easy peasy. Don't forget to watch the San Diego Historicon convention that's happening right now. Go check it out. Have a good weekend. See you next week. Before I start this, Podfather, what are you doing? With the guy on the left, the Z, and with the guy on the right, I don't know what his name is, but he's a funny-looking guy. He's not part of our thing here, you know what I'm saying? So, look, Antoinette and Giancarlo, they say hello, huh? Think about it. Call me. We'll forget everything. We're gonna work it out. We're gonna have a sit-down, okay? Podfather, please. Come to your senses. Join us next week when the Podfather says, Shut up! And our reply is, next week on As the Stomach Turns. Hey, don't forget the cannoli. Now you're probably wondering, what the hey was all that? Well, this is it. Mare Nostrum, right? A game published by Academy Games, designed by Serge Laget. That's the way it's pronounced, not Leggett. It's Laget. Trust me, I know. So, what's the connection? Well, the connection is you're building empires, just like the Podfathers kind of work. And you're trading. Buying and selling, moving in, different leaders, different stuff. Same thing. Check it out. First of all, let me tell you, components, awesome. Box, awesome. Rulebook, I think it's 6 pages with big pictures. And check this out. That's the setup page for 3 to 5 players. This is a 3 to 5 player game. How do you win this game? Well, be the first one to build the pyramids, wonders, 3-4 ways to win the game. And you're going to have coins, you're going to have a caravan of camels, where you can go from province to province, where you can buy markets, cities, temples, stuff like that. And if some guy next to you doesn't want to sell it, well, the Podfather knows. Shut up! You move in! And then you make him pay taxes for it! Well, look at that beautiful map, huh? The Mediterranean, the Adriatic Sea, the Mediterranean. And look at that. That boot, that's La Bella Italia. And just off that little coast here, there's an island called Capri. It's called the living room of the world! And you start off with a couple of heroes like Kaiser and Cleopatra, Hannibal and Pericles. And guess who used to go to Capri? Caesar and Cleopatra! It comes with a nice plastic insert so you can rearrange your box. If you want, you could paint all your minis, go crazy, do as you wish, but they don't come painted. So Mare Nostrum Empires by Academy Games, all their games are well built. This is a Civ game, right? There's diplomacy, and if you don't want to be diplomatic, you don't have to be. See you later.